If you're looking to change the look of your S650, make it stand out from the rest, and make it look a little bit more aggressive, then this Anderson Composite integrated rear wing is the perfect choice for you. As the year goes on, we're going to see more and more exterior parts come out for the S650, and Anderson Composites already early to that game. They came out with this integrated rear wing, and it's basically just a very nice duckbill for the S650, which is going to change the look up a ton. Now, one of the most obvious and coolest parts about this wing is the fact that it is carbon fiber, so we are going to be saving some weight. And the way that it is designed, it'll actually improve our aerodynamics on the car as well too. Now, as far as the install goes, it's going to be super easy. This wing will fold up exactly like the factory wing, so there won't be any modifications needed. So let's go ahead and pull our factory one off and get this one installed. First thing we need to do is take off this cover here for the trunk to be able to access the hardware that holds the factory wing. We're going to take out these stops here first. These just twist out. And then pop off the trunk latch cover. And then we're going to have some clips here that we need to take out. Now, if you're doing this at home, you can get away with just taking these two clips out and then you'll be able to access everything. But for the video, I'm going to take off this whole cover here. That way it's easier to see. And just pop this guy through the hole and set this to the side. Now we're going to start loosening up all the factory hardware. We're going to have one in the middle here. And then you're going to have two more nuts inside these holes here. You're going to have two on either side of the trunk. Be very careful when taking this hardware out because it's very easy to drop into the trunk, which is not a fun time. Once you have all the hardware out, you can remove the wing. Now, I will say if this is your first time removing the factory wing, there is going to be some double-sided tape on the back of it, so it'll be a little hard to pull off. Just give it a good tug, but make sure you're careful because you obviously don't want to break it. Once you get the wing off, you're going to have the plug for the rear view camera. Just disconnect it, push in the brown tab and pull, and then disconnect the wiring harness from the wing. So we got our factory wing on the table, and that's because we need to take a couple things off it to transfer over to our Anderson Composite wing. The first thing that we need to do is take out these two T15 screws that hold on the rear view camera. Once those are out, remove the bracket. And then remove the camera and set this somewhere safe because you don't want to end up damaging it. Next, grab these two studs out of the factory wing. And now set your factory wing to the side. Now we have our Anderson Composite wing on the table and we're going to install the rear view camera. So we're going to slide in our camera here first, and then the bracket. And then use the Anderson hardware Once you have that in place, just tighten everything down. And as you're tightening all this hardware down on the Anderson Composite wing, make sure you're not going too crazy. All the mounts are fiberglass, so if you go a little bit too hard, you will end up starting to crack it. Now we're going to take the two studs that we took out of the factory wing and put them on this one, and you're going to put them in the exact same spot where they would go on the factory wing. Now what we'll do is we'll go along and take out all of the hardware here on the wing, because we'll actually use that to be able to mount it onto the car. Inside the box is going to be this foam tape, and we're going to put it in a couple different places on this wing. The first place is going to be this corner piece here, and then if we flip the wing up, there's kind of these 4 indents along the back side of the wing. We're also going to put it on all 4 of those indents. This way, it doesn't end up hitting the body of the Mustang, doesn't cause any rattling or any damage. Before we mount the wing onto the Mustang, we're going to plug in our rear view camera. And then the nice thing about the Anderson Composite wings is it has a spot for the wiring harness, just like the factory wing. So we're going to put it in the holes here as if it were factory. Once you have that done, you can start putting the wing on the car. Just be very careful. Now, as you're holding the wing, you can pull the trunk up. Just keep a hold of the wing or it will fall, and then grab your factory hardware, which is just those 10mm nuts you took off in the beginning of this, and put them on the studs that we installed onto the Anderson wing. I know this might be a little hard to see, but I do not want to drop the wing. Once you have the factory hardware loosely installed, go around the entire wing with the Anderson hardware and loosely install that as well. Now, just like factory, you're going to end up putting some hardware into this hole again, except you're going to use the Anderson Composite hardware. Again, be very careful when installing this because you do not want to drop it into the trunk. Ask me how I know that's a terrible time. I'm going to tighten this down all the way. Just want to get it started, and then we'll go over to the other hole and do the exact same thing. And again, just like factory, we'll have one here in the middle. So far so good. Now that everything's loosely installed, we can go back over and tighten everything down. this point, just start reassembling everything in your trunk. And your installation is complete. So we're all wrapped up with the install. This install should only take you about 35 or 40 minutes to get done. And I gotta say, I am absolutely in love with this wing. It has completely transformed the rear end of the S650. And honestly, this is exactly how it should have came from factory. Now, if you want to purchase the Anderson Composite rear wing, you can go to cjponyparts.com and pick up yours today. But it's time to drop a gear and disappear, and we'll catch you on the next one.